Hi, this is Ed. Welcome to the Outer Light channel. Well, before I go on, I'd like to thank my patrons for your continued support over my channel. I'm just really helping it to keep on running, so thank you very much for that. Well, here we are back at another story, and this is in regards to a video Donald Trump saw, because a couple of weeks ago we were all speculating as to why Donald Trump ended the program. Of course, a lot of people know that it was a horrible program, the CIA funding and paying the salaries of the Syrian rebels against Assad there in Syria. So what was the reasoning why? Well, the reasoning why, according to the Weekly Standard, was because of a video Donald Trump saw. He seen a video of something and he ended the program altogether. This is a good sign. This is a very good sign because it shows that the United States president has empathy that affects him. Okay, something happened, he's seen the video, and it just changed his, just on that, changed his direction. And that's powerful. Because it's important to have leaders that aren't like just conspiring in this kind of academic ether of just war theory to kind of justify evil itself enacting itself. Sometimes, like Occam's razor, the best way to rule, or at least make decisions, under your peer view of rule, is really kind of to Occam's razor approach. It's not right. It's not right to do that. We're not going to do it. And that's what Donald Trump did. So here's Julian Assange. Saw this video I tweeted in June of the CIA rebels killing a child and shut them down. This is from Julian Assange. This is a better sign than anyone could have hoped for. This is a really good sign. Reason behind this is, think of a Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, Washington Free Beacon, released that audio of Hillary Clinton laughing after she got off a child rapist. It was her job as an attorney to do that. I get that. But you don't laugh about it. You don't enjoy it and find it a comedic experience. That's what the world could have got a psychopath. Not a psychopath that suddenly fell down a period of stairs and hit her head and then woke up a psychopath. Someone that was always a psychopath. Donald Trump here saw a video of what happened to a small child, ended the CIA program. So let's have a look here as Julian Assange tweets to the Weekly Standard here. Let's go up here. The link to this, of course, will be placed in the comments section. So here we are of the Weekly Standard, link in the comments section. Trump got this right, shutting down the CIA's ghost war in Syria. Remember, CIA was paying these people's salaries, the Syrian rebels. Who were the Syrian rebels? Well, atrocity after atrocity. So here we have it. Earlier this year, President Trump was shown a disturbing video of Syrian rebels beheading a child near the city of Aleppo. It had caused a stir in the press as the fighters belonged, in essence, were a group that had been supported by the CIA as part of its rebel aid program. The CIA were paying their salaries. Did a video on that a week or so ago. The footage is haunting. 5 bearded men smirk as they surround a boy in the back of a pickup truck. One of them holds the boy's head with a tight grip. I seen a picture. I couldn't watch the video, okay? I'm not going to watch that. As Cormac McCarthy says, right, sometimes what you put in your head stays there. I don't want that in my head. So the footage is haunting. It shows 5 bearded men smirk as they surround a boy in the back of a pickup truck. Okay, one of them holds the boy's head with a tight grip on his hair, while the other mockingly slaps his face. Then one of them uses a knife to saw the child's head off and hold it up in the air. Like a trophy. It's a scene reminiscent of the Islamic State's snuff videos, except this wasn't the work of these individuals. The murderers were supposed to be the good guys. They were the allies. Okay? These were the people that are Western allies of the United States, all these countries, and are trying to overthrow Assad. Okay? What would a normal person think? Well, 99.99% of people or maybe 99%, because 1% are psychopaths or whatever. But they would not want your taxpayer dollars going towards funding individuals that do these kinds of things. They would want your dollars, probably, or a lot of people's money, going towards making sure that these people are in jail for a long time, preferably infinity. Trump wanted to know why the United States had backed these members and extremists. The issue was discussed at length with senior intelligence officials, and no good answers were forthcoming, according to the people familiar with the conversation. After learning more worrisome details about the CIA's ghost war in Syria, including the US-backed rebels had often fought along extremists, including Al-Qaeda's arm in the country, the president decided to end the program altogether. So that's all it took. And Donald Trump decided to end the program. Now, you can think what you like about Donald Trump, but people are sick of this kind of like Ivy League academic approach to all of this stuff, like an Obama, contemplating, all these abstract, flowery philosophies in order to explain away just war theory. Yes, we have to do this. Yes, it's have to do that. Sometimes Occam's razor is the best way in order to make decisions. You look at something, it's wrong, you know it's wrong, you refer to your moral frameworks, it's wrong, it'd be wrong probably most times in history. Even dating back to the days of the Romans. Did the Romans get children and cut their heads off like that? Probably not, I would say. Although there's a lot of historical details of mass slaughter. There's no doubt about that. But who really knows? I mean, the Romans were ruthless, but everyone was ruthless through history. So maybe I should change that. But at least within model post-Renaissance history, after the serfs came off the fields and they started to be able to own land, and there was a kind of a moral framework, an established kind of wisdom of the crowds became propagated in terms of philosophy. You got a lot of these different kinds of arrangements that became these progressive value systems, especially with moral frameworks where, cutting a child's head off is considered wrong. You shouldn't pay people to do that. These people are the evil scourge. So what does that achieve? Okay, you pay these people to do these kinds of things. What do you think happens when you overthrow Assad? These people are all in charge. Do you want people in charge that cut children's heads off? This is just, it's the greatest thing Donald Trump has ever done, in my opinion, was ending the funding of that program. Getting out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, of course, he said he would do that. These two things that I know of that are public, probably a lot of things behind the scenes, were two great things that Donald Trump did. So, what does the mainstream media say? Well, the mainstream media, like the Washington Post, okay, with its $600 million arrangement, they are at least owned by the same individual, has a $600 million cloud contract with the CIA, broke the news of Trump's decision, a move long sought by Russians. Yes, you should continue to pay them because the Russians think that it's wrong. Yes, I think most people would think it was wrong. I think even if you went in front of Vladimir Putin and you pulled that kind of stuff, he would have the Russian intelligence just come out and take all these individuals and put them into a parking lot, and there'd be like swift carriage of justice, because you don't do that thing, at least within Christian nations, okay? That kind of stuff is just outrageous. You don't pay people to do that. So yes, Russia, and it's far more complicated, I get that. It's the Anglo-Saxon American pipeline, it's, energy. But then, this is the best. I mean, you just look at it, it's wrong, you stop funding that. That's how you run. You just keep things simple, you try to do good things, and you end the bad things. End the bad things, do the good things, and then you have more good things in the world and less bad things in the world. So just an interesting tweet by Julian Assange there, just really kind of putting it out there. Very interesting. So Trump saw this video I tweeted in June. So Trump saw the video that Julian Assange tweeted in June. The power of WikiLeaks. It didn't take a massive information dump. It didn't take anything like that. It was just a video, and these people connected on an empathetic level, one human being to another, and that's really the power of seeing something really wrong with the world and doing something about it and fixing it, unlike Obama, who just works for the CIA. They just get out his accountancy pad and like make all kinds of references to different kinds of philosophers and blah blah blah, and do arrangements on some kind of equation to prove, that his it's a good thing. We have to do it. I put all these just war number theory stuff in here, and and sooner or later prove that yes, we have to keep on funding the rebels. All these complex equations. That's not reality. The reason why it's not reality and that doesn't work. It works in some cases, like engineering, if you want to build a rocket ship. But it doesn't work in these complicated frameworks. Why? Because you can simply reference to the fact that you can only see chaos so far. You can only see into chaos so far on a human intellectual level in order to judge, a set outcome of events. You cannot see chaos in a year. You cannot see chaos in 10 years. You cannot see all of these things. You cannot see the fact that, yes, you want to build a pipeline through Syria, okay, but now you can have a completely destabilized country and surrounding countries. You're not going to have stable political frameworks. You have increased terrorism. How long you reckon your pipeline's actually going to be functional before someone blows it up? Whereas if you had agreements, stabilized nations, let's say, if you're arguing for it, at least you'd be able to have some kind of political salience in order to protect against that. Yes, you want to build a pipeline now through a complete and utter obliterated war zone. With every single ideology out there that hates the West will hate the pipeline and hate everyone around it. Yeah, you can protect. How are you going to protect that against anything? Well, welcome to the world of disrupted energy flow and fluctuating markets, because anyone can seize the pipeline at any stage, and then your energy prices go up and down. Really great for Wall Street, by the way, and people, of that kin and caliber. But probably that's the world, right? If you had good countries, if you had universities in those countries, if you had people that liked to eat at McDonald's, so to speak, and I don't mean to reference McDonald's, which is just a mega corporation, but let's say they're eating at McDonald's, then they have a few Western books in their libraries. They already do, if they have libraries anymore. They start reading, there's a communication, there's a swap of cultural identity, there's a slow change. Remember, in the 1950s, Syrian women didn't have to walk down the street with a burqa on with fear of being stoned to death. Now they do. Okay, now they do. So has that philosophy gone to the better? No, it has not, my opinion. So you could build a pipeline, if there's an educated country, there are educated regions, there's no war, smell of frankincense and myrrh in the air, and, Arabian Nights, so to speak. You could probably build a pipeline. Everyone would just be, it's a good pipeline. We'll talk about the pipeline, But you can't build it now. Try to keep the pipeline there now. You're looking at like 60 years out. You have to re-educated, whole entire generations to like take the hate for the West out of them. So good luck with that, Obama. Good luck with that, Hillary Clinton. Yes, very smart individuals that have caused nothing but chaos in this world. Excellent thing for Donald Trump to get out of this. Just excellent thing. Of course, Trump's seen the video that Julian Assange tweeted back in June, and he changed his mind. That's all it takes. That's the beauty of it. That's all it takes. In the meantime, though, this is Ed from the Light. Go and do your own research, decide for yourselves. And is it any wonder why Donald Trump's gone hard after these trafficking operations like no other US president? Well, again, he probably seen some videos. In the meantime, this is Ed from the Light. Go out and do your own research, decide for yourselves. In the meantime, I'll see you later.